Thought I'd make a video. It's been a day. Sometimes I think about just making a video once a week, but I went to the thrift stores today, found some books, and saw some booktube tags like Friday Reads, and someone had a writer's tag with these questions that go along with write. So since I'm a writer, I'm not a professional writer. I don't write fantasy, I don't write fiction, I don't write poetry. What I do write, as I have said in my videos, is that I keep a diary. This is May 2016. I closed today on page 415 in the year 2016. I'm a diary writer. That's what I do. I don't write to publish. I don't write short stories. I don't write essays. I write in my diary, and I've been doing that since 1968. And as I've said in past videos, that when I left California back in '78, I burned all my diaries of my youth, and I started again when I moved to Grand Rapids, Michigan from Richmond, California. I moved to Grand Rapids, Michigan in 1978, and I started writing my diary again. But I did keep the last year. So I do have, even though I have 1978 diaries up until May the 13th, 2016. And I have rarely ever skipped a day in all these years. And I've been keeping online diaries on the internet since 2001. I have my major online diaries, Crooked Fingers and LiveJournal. The point is that I write. So it says here in the writer's tag, where do you write best? And I wrote it out here, put this in my diary. I write best in our dining room, is where I'm right now. I'm making this video. Is that the reason why I like the dining room is because of the lighting. It's really bright in here. I sometimes write in my study if the house is noisy. I have a study here on the first floor. I do sometimes write downstairs in the lower level where our major library is. But I mostly write here in the dining room. Now, when our kids were growing up, I mainly wrote in my study. And sometimes when I was working, I'd write at lunchtime. But I'm saying right now, I write in the dining room here. 2, ritual that gets you in the writing mood. Well, I'm always writing. I don't have to be, no matter what mood I am, I write in my diary. I write in the morning, I write in the afternoon, I write in the evening. I write no matter what mood I am. And so I just write. I write every chance I get. I'm a writer. 3, irritation about writing. I get irritated when someone talks to me when I'm writing, or if there's noise. Well, I can write listening to music. I can't read listening to music, but I can write in my diary listening to some death metal or doom metal, or some classical music, or some country, old-time country music or something. I can write, but I generally prefer writing in silence because I can hear myself, my inner voice. I need silence if I am to write. 4, talent when it comes to writing. I personally believe that anybody can write. You, I think it's a myth to think, well, I can't write because I got no talent, where everybody has something to write about. You can write about your family, you can write about just everyday things, and that's what I write about. My life is pretty ordinary, but I just write about my life, and anybody can write about their life. You just have to sit down and write. But I do believe there are some people who are born to be writers. I think same as there are some people who are born to be artists, or to be poets, or to be doctors, or to be ministers, or to be whatever. I think there are some people throughout the history of mankind have been called to be writers, storytellers, chanters, singers of, well, whatever. I think have always been people who are called to be writers. 5, essential to your life because, well, I write because that is what I am. For example, when we fill out our income tax, and what is my occupation? I always tell my wife, I'm a writer. I've always put that as my occupation. I am a writer, and that's what I am. I'm not a professional writer. I don't make money writing. I don't put out novels. I don't write. I'm not a poet, but I write. I am a writer. Writing to me is like breathing. I have to write to live. I just have to write. 6, reflective writing that relates to your life. Reflective writing that relates to your life. So when I was thinking of that question, I wrote here, I do not understand the question. Is the question what book or poetry that I relate to as a writer? I would answer this question by reading Jack Kerouac's prose piece, Belief and Technique for Modern Prose. And this is basically what I have always kind of inspired me, or what I think about when I think about writing. And what, anyway, I'll just read it. Jack Kerouac says, Belief and Technique for Modern Prose. 1, scribble secret notebooks and wild type written pages for your own joy. That's what I believe. You should write for your own joy. If you don't get joy out of writing, then it's going to be pretty difficult to write. I find joy in writing. It's how I am creative. 2, submissive to everything open, listening. 3, try never to get drunk outside your own house. 4, be in love with your life. 5, something that you feel will find its own form. 6, be crazy dumb state of the mind. 7, blow as deep as you want to blow. 8, write what you want, bottomless from the bottom of the mind. 9, the unspeakable visions of the individual. 10, no time for poetry, but exactly what is. 11, visionary ticks shivering in the chest. 12, entranced fixation, dreaming upon object before you. 13, remove literary, grammatical, and centennial, I can't pronounce that word, inhibition. 14, like Proust, be old tea head of time. 15, telling the true story of the world, an interior monologue. 16, the jewel center of interest is the eye within the eye. 17, write in recollection and amazement for yourself. 18, work from pithy middle eye out, swimming in language sea. 19, accept loss forever. 20, believe in the holy contour of life. 21, struggle to sketch the flow that already exists intact in mind. 22, don't think of words when you stop, but see picture better. 23, keep track of every day, the date, emblazoned in your mourning. 24, no fear or shame in the dignity of your experience, language, or knowledge. 25, write for the world to read and see your exact pictures of it. 26, book movie is the movie in words, the visual American form. 27, in praise of character and the bleak and human loneliness. 28, composing wild, undisciplined, pure, coming in from under, crazier the better. 29, you're a genius all the time. 30, write director of earthly movies, sponsored and angeled in heaven. And that's kind of how my philosophy or how I approach writing in my diary. Just be yourself and learn to accept yourself, to accept who you are and all your frailty, your genius, or your human experience. Just write it down, and you don't have to show anybody. My wife has never read my diary in 37 years that we've been married. I don't think anybody's ever read my diary in all these years. It's not that I have anything to hide from my wife. I mean, I'm transparent. What you see is who I am. I have nothing to hide. I have no skeletons in the closet. It's not saying that there are things in the past that I regret or that I have repented over and asked God forgiveness. I'm a sinner saved by grace. I'm not saying this. I've never sinned in my life, but I know the blood of Jesus has covered my sins, and that by faith I've been declared forgiven. There's forgiveness of sin to the blood of Jesus. And so, but I've been seeking to walk in the light and seeking to live a holy life for a long time. Not saying I don't sometimes stumble and fall, but the Lord is always there to forgive and give me grace to keep on going. So anyway, that's the writer's tag, and I suppose I was going to share the books I got, the thrift store today, but I will do that in another video. Until next time, bye.